welcome to Yesterday's Canada, podcast number 3, a podcast series to explain Canadian history from 1713 to 1800 AD. This is an 8 podcast series being posted on YouTube under the name Prehistoric Pixel. These podcasts will showcase major events, disputes, battles, and more. Stay tuned, episodes drop every Sunday. Our topic today is Canadian history from 1735 to 1745.
Father Jean-Pierre Aulneau and Pierre Lavendrie's landing at Fort St. Charles was a pivotal point in the ongoing history of European exploration and colonization, as well as a mission of religious outreach. Their terrible murder by the Sioux warriors on the Lake of the Woods in 1736 highlighted the perils and complexity of frontier life, where alliances could change at any time, betrayal on any corner, and the conflict could break out with disastrous results.
Damn.
The broad declaration of sovereignty over unclaimed areas in the Hudson's Bay Company Charter not only prepared the way for the company's growth and domination in the fur trade, but also created the conditions for confrontations with rival European powers and indigenous peoples.
Concurrently, the construction of forts like Fort La Reine and Fort Dauphin by individuals like Francois Jossu, de la Corne du Braille, and La Vérendrye signified the extension of French dominance toward the central region of the continent. These colonies functioned as wilderness strongholds for Catholicism and French culture, in addition to being hubs for trade and commerce. European colonization and interaction had a significant and varied effect on indigenous societies. Native American populations were nearly wiped off by the introduction of illnesses like smallpox by European immigrants and traders, which altered the social and political landscape of the continent. Native Americans' customary methods of life were changed by the arrival of new technologies like metal tools and firearms, which also prompted adjustments to their economic and military tactics.
From 1740 until 1748, across the pond, Europe was engulfed in the War of the Austrian Succession, which had far-reaching effects on colonial powers and indigenous peoples of North America and all over the world. Known as King George's War in North America, it saw French and British armies fighting for control of strategically important areas like Louisbourg on Cape Breton Island and the Ohio Valley. A major turning point in the contest for controlling the area was the British victory at the Siege of Louisbourg in 1745, which threatened British naval power and reduced French influence in North America. The aftermath of the war brought profound changes to the colonial landscape. The deportation of thousands of Acadians from Nova Scotia by British authorities, known as the Great Expulsion, altered the demographic and cultural makeup of the region, while also fueling resentment and setting the stage among the displaced population.
The British are for Taylors!
Be quiet.
You just supported them.
Or whatever. The Carnatic Wars, a series of conflicts fought between the British and the French East India companies in the 18th century India, may seem disconnected from the events unfolding in Canada. However, the broader geopolitical rivalry between Britain and France for colonial supremacy had far-reaching implications that reverberated across continents. While the battles in India did not have a direct impact on Canada, they nonetheless influenced the strategies and resources of both colonial powers in North America.
As the Carnatic Wars raged in India, British successes on the subcontinent indirectly bolstered their capabilities in Canada. Victories provided valuable experience, resources, and prestige, which could be leveraged in other colonial theaters, including North America. Conversely, setbacks in India might have diverted resources or attention away from Canada, like it did, affecting the balance of the power in the New World.
That's cool.
Yep. The outbreak of the War of the Austrian Succession in Europe further intertwined the fates of Britain and France in Canada, as they found themselves on opposite sides of the conflict. Despite their enmity in Europe, their trading companies of both nations maintained relatively amicable relations in India. However, tensions escalated when British officials, unlike their French counterparts, were not restrained from engaging in conflict. The arrival of the Royal Navy fleet further escalated the situation, leading to confrontations at sea and on land.
One notable engagement occurred in July 1746 off the coast of Negapatnam, where French commander La Vérendrye clashed with British Admiral Edward Peyton in an indecisive battle. Subsequently, the French captured British outpost at Madras, now Chennai, prompting a retaliatory move by the Nawab. However, French forces decisively repulsed the Nawab's army in the Battle of Adyar, solidifying their control over the region.
Ha! Go French!
This defeat for the British, caused the British to come back with more reinforcements, which halted the French advances and eventually turned the tide of the conflict. British Admiral Edward, siege of Pondicherry in 1748 underscored the intensity of the struggle, but the onset of the monsoon rains forced the British to flee, losing many men in the process.
In the 18th century, the fur trade played a significant role in shaping the dynamics of European colonial powers in North America. Initially, European settlers and traders heavily relied on the fur trade as a lucrative economic venture, exploiting the vast wilderness and abundant wildlife for valuable pelts.
However, as the century progressed, several factors contributed to the decline of the fur trade. Overhunting led to a depletion of the fur-bearing animal populations in many regions, like beavers, making it increasingly difficult for traders to acquire high-quality pelts. Additionally, changing fashion trends and the emergence of alternative materials diminishing the demand for fur further impacted the profitability of the trade.
That is all for today's daily podcast. Make sure to subscribe to Prehistoric Pixel and stay alert for the next episode in the series. This is Yesterday's Canada, tuning out.